Russia's top general believes the world is on the doorstep of World War III and says it will be England's fault. Governor Ron DeSantis rips on Nikki Haley for not backing Donald Trump and says she wasn't supposed to be president because she can't keep promises. Donald Trump held a secret meeting with Elon Musk down in Florida, and everyone is speculating about what they might have discussed. Thank you so much for liking and sharing these videos. It really helps me out. So thank you guys so much. And welcome to tonight's live news broadcast. I would love to hear from you. Do you think Joe Biden will fall down or mess up during the State of the Union this evening? Let me know in the comments. Also, will you be watching the State of the Union, skipping it, or watching Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson make fun of the State of the Union? Now, tomorrow is the final day Congress has to act to avoid a government shutdown. With ongoing wars and an open border, agreement has been extremely difficult. However, the House of Representatives has just acted to extend the deadline by passing a $460 billion package. It's now up to the Democrat-led Senate to confirm this offer before it's too late. But will they actually pass it? House Speaker Mike Johnson cast doubt by confirming that the government spending bill was reduced in many areas. For example, a 10% reduction to the EPA, a 7% reduction to the ATF, a 6% reduction to the FBI. Now, despite the small cuts, I doubt Democrats will fight these measures, especially with Biden trying to lower inflation. We do need to spend less, but I could be wrong. Maybe they'll be mad at reducing the FBI budget by 6% because, after all, they need all of those FBI agents in order to do fake insurrections. Am I right? All right. Now, with the Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell backtracking on cutting interest rates in the month of March, the White House is struggling to defend Bidenomics. During an interview with PBS, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre was confronted on previous promises made by Joe Biden. Host Jeff Bennett pointed out that Joe Biden had been saying the same thing for 3 years now, that people will believe him once they feel the impact of his financial policies. Well, people are feeling the impact. It's just not the impact that they want to feel. Instead of taking ownership for the failure, Jean-Pierre stated, it's just going to take a little bit more time. Now, I'd like to hear from you in the comments. Has life become more expensive or less expensive since Biden started promising it would become less expensive? He even said people are making more money and spending less money because of him, but the data does not line up with what he is saying. Write more if life has become more expensive, and write less if it's become less expensive. I can tell you from my own life experience that just about everything around me has become more expensive. And so with this one, I give Joe Biden a Pinocchio for lying to the American people. Whoa, you guys are saying more, dollar signs, everything's more expensive, dog food's more expensive. Wow. Yeah, no, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it as well. So far, Biden's policies have led to record inflation, a soaring national debt, a record number of illegal immigrants sneaking into the country. The issue of immigration has gotten so bad that New York City has just called up 750 National Guard Reserve soldiers in order to make life, normal daily life, comfortable for New Yorkers. According to the Times, January of 2024 saw a 45% increase in crime in the subway compared to this same time last year. So it's getting bad. Now, it's important to note that not all of the crime is related to New Yorkers and not all of the crime is related to illegal immigrants. Most likely, it's people like Letitia James and Alvin Braggs that are so busy going after Donald Trump that they're not actually keeping criminals in jail. But the biggest reason is you have all of these policies, such as catch and release within New York City, where somebody commits a crime and they're literally back out on the street within a couple of hours. Some of them have been arrested and released 2 or 3 times in a single day. So it's getting really, really bad over there in New York. Now, according to Breitbart News, 47% of New York suspects are rearrested at some point, which tells me that this is a leadership problem. Okay, now in Alabama, Governor Kay Ivey has signed a new bill into law to protect IVF treatment and not categorize it as abortion. She stated, "Let me say clearly, Alabama's growing support of families through IVF. From protecting the unborn to supporting IVF, Alabama is proud to say that we are pro-life, pro-family." For those unaware, IVF was temporarily suspended after a bill was passed that basically categorized IVF as abortion. President Donald Trump stepped in, pointed it out, and said, "You've gone too far. There's no way that this is abortion." Now, this is great news because getting IVF and it not taking is not an abortion. And it's very different than chopping up a baby and vacuuming out body parts. I'm sorry to be so graphic, but that's what late-term abortion is, according to several reputable websites. That's how they get those babies out. That's not the same as IVF. Now, with how close Donald Trump and Joe Biden are in the polls, an entire election could come down to abortion. According to a new KFF survey, 12% of voters say that the only reason that they vote is for abortion. Now, if you made that polling only Democrats, 25% of Democrats say abortion and abortion rights are the only reason that they vote in America. With the election coming down to single digits lately, it's no wonder Donald Trump is asking Republicans to be a little bit more lenient so that Republicans can win and make progress in other areas, including abortion. Now, remember when Biden said, "You ain't black if you don't vote for a Democrat." Well, something happened today that reminded me of that. During an appearance on CNN, former NBA player Charles Barkley defended a recent comment of his when he stated, "If I see a black person walking around with a Trump mugshot shirt, I'm going to punch him in the face." In response, Barkley stated, "Obviously, I'm not going to go around punching random strangers in the face, first and foremost. Secondly, people can vote for who they want. When Donald Trump compares his plight with that of a black person, that's where I have a problem." Now, Charles Barkley also went on to say on national television that he has always voted Democrat. But as he's gotten older, it's dawned on him that the Democrat Party hasn't really done anything for blacks in a long time. And so he's considering voting Republican in the future. Let me know your thoughts on his comments down below. Okay, the president's son, Hunter Biden, has finally gotten his wish. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer invited Hunter Biden to testify during a public hearing taking place on March 20th. Previously, Hunter Biden denied giving a testimony, arguing that it wouldn't help him out. If Hunter does not show, it will likely be because 2 of his business partners will be there testifying against him, Devin Archer and Tony Bobulinski. Now, as you know, I love the last name Bobulinski, so I try to work it into almost all of my videos. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It is a great name, though. Okay, now, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has bashed Nikki Haley for failing to endorse Donald Trump like she promised. During an interview with Newsmax, DeSantis argued that Haley's pledge to the RNC was still valid and that she needed to keep her commitment. He stated, "For me, I tell people, you know, if I say I'm going to do something, then I'm going to do it." So he basically said that she's not worthy of being president of the United States because she can't keep simple promises to voters. Now, despite Trump not showing up for any of the GOP debates, he is now challenging Joseph Robinette Biden to a debate. He's saying, "Biden, it's time to step up and talk to me face to face in front of the American people." In a new social media post, Trump offered to debate Joe Biden anytime, anywhere, any place. He even offered to have it moderated by the Democrat National Committee. So he's saying, I'm willing to walk into the lion's den, to go into enemy territory, to speak to you in front of the American people. Now, I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Does Joe Biden have the courage to debate Donald Trump on national TV? I don't think he does. I think he knows he would be flustered. He would end up tripping over his words. He would lose his train of thought. I honestly don't see it happening, but I'm glad that Biden, is doing the State of the Union tonight, because I think it's important that he speak in front of the American people. But again, let me know, do you think that Biden and Donald Trump will ever have another debate? I doubt it. Okay, now tonight is the State of the Union speech, and many Democrats are terrified that Joe Biden is going to trip or fall on national television, or he's going to go off script and say something really stupid. There will be, every single media outlet will be filming this. It's one of the highest watched things. And so I know that they are terrified. All right, now I had a super chat come in, Raptor Life. I'd pay to see that. Biden won't do it, though. I agree with you. I don't think he is going to do it. It's more likely that Mike Tyson will box Jake Paul on Netflix. That's actually going to happen. But yeah, Biden is too scared to go up against Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a formidable beast. He is a savage when it comes to debating people, and Joe Biden is not. He does not have the mental acuity. Let me put it to you this way. If he isn't able to testify behind closed doors to a jury of 12 people, he's not going to be able to debate Donald Trump in front of 100 million people. It's not going to happen. Okay, now tonight is the State of the Union speech, as I mentioned. One thing that was leaked is that President Biden plans to propose a massive tax increase on corporations and also on the super rich. He says that corporations are making record profits, and instead of giving their people raises so that they can afford to live in America, the government wants that money. He also wants to tax billionaires at 25%. I don't think that this is going to go over well, but it's a great talking point. I'm going to tax the rich. They've been using that for a long time, but nothing ever ends up happening. So I'm not going to hold my breath. Now, Donald Trump recently held a private meeting in Florida with some of the wealthiest people in America. One of those was Elon Musk of Tesla. They then had a private meeting. Now, it's not clear what the two billionaires discussed. Some in the media have speculated that Musk was attempting to tell Donald Trump to pick Vivek Ramaswamy as his vice president, while others, left-leaning media, were saying that Donald Trump was begging Elon Musk for money or for a loan so that he can pay off Letitia James in New York. The truth is, we don't know what was said, but I could probably guarantee with certainty that the border and business topics came up, since both billionaires love to talk about these two topics. Okay, in New York, Letitia James has been slapped with a huge lawsuit from Nassau County, New York. The attorney general, who's now collecting $100,000 a day from Donald Trump, is trying to use the law to force Nassau County to let boys dressed as girls compete in girls' sports. Nassau County came together several months ago and voted against it as a community because boys were breaking all the girls' records and injuring girls during competition. But AG Letitia James says trans girls are real girls and must be allowed to play sports with real girls. All right, now speaking of Letitia James, this was funny. She tried to give a speech today, and she couldn't be heard over the number of people that were chanting, Trump, 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 Trump. She became visibly frustrated, and so then they quieted down. When she tried to speak again, they literally booed her for the rest of the speech. Boo! Over and over and over again. You could tell she was very frustrated, but people are frustrated that she brought this fake lawsuit where there was no victim and is now trying to extort $500 million out of Donald Trump that she can then give to Democrat-backed unions so that they can donate that money and keep Democrats in power. It's a money laundering scheme, and we are on to it. Okay, Basil says, weekend at Biden's tonight. I love weekend at Bernie's, right? Where they like tie him up and he's waving. Hey, good to see you, right? That's exactly what's happening with Joseph Robinette Biden. He's just a meat puppet at this point. All right, now with a ceasefire in Gaza out of the question, President Joe Biden has announced that the U.S. military will build a port off the coast of Gaza to help bring in resources, water, food, supplies to Palestinian civilians. The port will be big enough to receive large ships in the Mediterranean carrying supplies. The construction of the port will not require any U.S. military boots on the ground. They're going to be lining up military aquatic vehicles where the U.S. military basically creates a bridge that has fluidity out into the ocean. Now, we don't know how Hamas is going to respond to this. It could be that they get really irritated. It could be that they are extremely grateful. I don't know. We don't know how they're going to respond, but the fact that Israel is wiping the floor with Hamas, I doubt that they're going to want to mess with the United States military. But who knows? Maybe the military is walking into a trap, and I'll be reporting on that at some future point. All right, now Sweden, out of fear that Russia will attack them, has officially joined NATO. The move comes after its bordering country, Finland, joined the organization. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg stated, Sweden is now taking its rightful place at NATO's table with an equal say in shaping NATO policies and decisions. Sweden brings with it capable army forces and first-class defense industry. Sweden's ascension makes NATO stronger, Sweden safer, and the whole alliance more secure. So the United States promised Russia they wouldn't go another inch closer, and now they're trying to go into Ukraine. They're taking over Sweden and Finland, which butt right up against the northwestern part of Russia. So I'm sure that Russia won't take this as a threat. Now, according to the Sun News, Putin's army chief has sent out a chilling warning to the West, saying the risk of World War III is significant and that it is becoming more of a reality day after day. Colonel General Vladimir Zarundinsky said, the devastating fight in Ukraine could spill over into Europe and ignite a global conflict. Now, yesterday I told you how Germany's top generals accidentally leaked during a video conference that the United Kingdom had soldiers secretly fighting in Ukraine. So from Russia's perspective, this war is already advancing with more European countries getting involved in Ukraine. Ukraine is no longer a country. They just happen to be where Russia is fighting other NATO nations. Again, this is from the perspective of Russia. From the perspective of NATO, of course we're going to fight you. We just wanted to do it secretly and without you knowing. So Russia is not saying World War III is at the doorstep without reasoning behind that. But they're now saying if World War III erupts, it will be because of London and Europe provoking Russia to go beyond the borders of Ukraine. Just kind of interesting perspective. That was in the news, and so I wanted to bring that to you. Finally, the general said, the main source of military threats to our state is the anti-Russian policy of the United States and her allies, who are conducting a new type of hybrid warfare in order to weaken Russia in every possible way, limit its sovereignty, and destroy its territorial integrity. The likelihood of our state being purposely drawn into new military conflicts is significantly increasing. So they believe that they are being pulled into war. I don't know that they're wrong. This is a Russia versus NATO war. Sadly, Ukraine just happens to be the pawns that NATO is using in order to fight back against Russia. All right, now I want to say hi to you guys. Are you guys going to be watching the State of the Union? Are you going to skip it, or are you going to watch Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump uh, combating it, rebutting it, making fun of it in real time? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Oh, let's see here. Ed Dans, do you think the machine will allow Trump to become president? What is the backup plan for the machine to keep him from the presidency? Okay, so I talked about this with General Michael Flynn. Obviously, they did not wake up today and say, let's go easier on Trump, or dang, I guess all of our lawfare, removing him from the ballot, that's not working. Let's just give up. My guess, Ed, is that they are going to double down, that they probably have 5 other plans that they're just waiting to execute. They're going to agitate the Black community and get Black Lives Matter going again. They're going to agitate people that like abortions. They could drag us into another war. They could call for even more invasion into our country. They've flown 320,000 people in. Why not fly 1 million in? Why not arm those people? Why not call for martial law? Why not change the election results? Most people don't realize this. Over 200 election laws were changed just days before so that they could allow more mail-in ballots, ballot harvesting. So yeah, my guess is they're not going to ease up. They are going to double down. All right. Any other questions that people have? I'm on here. I have a little bit more time. Hi, Jazzy. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Clay. Hi, Renee, Murphy, Joyce. Love your show. I'll be watching State of the Union with Benny Johnson. Okay. Let's see. I was in the Associated Press YouTube channel, and they're all screaming Biden 2024. Sad. Yeah, I mean, you guys, even though he has dementia and he's allowed all of these big wars to happen, there are still people that absolutely love Joe Biden. They think he's doing a great job. I don't understand it. Personally, I see most people around the country, they're very nervous about what's happening with over 10 million illegal immigrants coming into the country. They're watching their government take their very hard to earn money, taxing them, and then giving it away to everybody else. They're seeing our social safety net programs bankrupted. They're seeing our hospitals bankrupted. They're seeing our schools struggle. I know that these school systems, they're being flooded with people from over 140 different nations. These people typically don't speak English, and that's okay unless you came here and now you're using a system that you've not put money into. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And a lot of people are nervous about that, but yeah, they're not going to back down. It'll be really interesting when the State of the Union starts here in a few minutes. I know that Biden is going to say, more taxpayer money into Gaza, more taxpayer money into Israel, more taxpayer money into Ukraine. The southern border is not as bad as Republicans say. I mean, there's going to be lie after lie after lie. They're going to say things like Republicans are trying to get rid of Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid. That will be a lie. So just lots and lots of lies is what I'm expecting tonight. And it will be really interesting to watch. So anyway, I'll be getting ready for that. I'll be coming on later to give a summary of what happened. Anyway, I appreciate you guys stopping by tonight and supporting the channel. I love doing all this research and putting this together for you guys each and every night. So thank you so much for your support for the channel. Thank you guys for liking the video, subscribing to the channel. It really means a lot to me. All right, before you go, I want to remind you that you are amazing. Never, never, never forget that. Never link your self-worth to government. Just have confidence that you're amazing and go out there and enjoy life the best that you can. Hey, thanks so much. I love you guys and have a great night. And I will see you on the next video.